Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one, Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Oh my God!
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two, on bar.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Dummy.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three, Lamas covers, three-handle family credential.
Mamma mia!
And now,
Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, GregUnchained.
It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
number four, armbar.
I will never retire!
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
All right, fellow B Plus players, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I am your host, Greg Unchained. Well, sometimes host. For this one, anyway. Today is Saturday, you know what that means. It's time for the view from the WWE Universe, and I'm not really the host anymore, but I decided to step in today because I have some things I want to talk about, and then I'm going to disappear and let the guys run through everything that happened in the week. I'm joined, of course, by BigBoy and C-Jaii. How are you guys?
Doing great, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, doing good over here.
Yeah, real good, real good. So, I want to dive straight into it, right? So we've got the whole week of WWE to talk about, and I actually I've been watching the highlights and what have you, but I wanted to specifically talk about the top news item of the week, which is, of course, Becky Lynch's broken face.
Mm-hmm.
I love that term.
It's
I
very
don't know why, I just
it's
love
very
it.
medical.
It's so medical. How did you get hurt? I broke my face.
Yeah, so I think it was actually the WWE medical team that called it a broken face. She had a severe concussion and a broken face.
Yeah.
Wow. Broken face.
Mhm.
I love it.
So I don't know specifically which parts of the face were broken. Definitely her nose, probably the eye socket, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a doctor or a wrestler or any of those things.
I'd say like she's got like a fractured cheekbone. You could tell it's swollen there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks bad. But I guess, so essentially what happened for people listening who may not know, because this is where we watch 10 hours of WWE programming, so you don't have to. She led an invasion of Raw. It was really badass. I'm sure you guys are going to talk about it. But in the fray, Nia Jax just clean clocked her. Like, they actually showed it in slow motion on SmackDown, which means they're turning it into a work, even though it's a shoot situation. Like, she did not pull that punch at all. What the hell was going on there?
Nah, I think it was just a matter of like wrong place, wrong time. I think you can't really say it was bad on either behalf, because to me, the way that I've seen it was that Becky was like a couple of centimeters too close to what she should have been, and Nia didn't realize it before she connected.
Yeah, for me, I kind of think it's a little bit sloppy. I'm not going to fully blame just Nia. Like, yes, she unfortunately does have a history of things that have gone wrong, which we'll touch on in a sec. But it takes two to tango, and like, no matter what injury it is, no matter what promotion, what wrestler, what gender, every single match has a chance to go wrong and any moment, and it takes two to tango. Like, whether it's Seth running Finn into the barricade, whether Seth didn't carry him the right way, or whether Finn didn't land it the right way, both are to blame for each injury. And I put blame on both, and I put a little bit of blame on WWE for not really training Nia in the right way, but in a way. But yeah, it takes two to tango. Like you said, Becky may have come that couple of steps too close, and Nia just acted out of instinct and didn't really concentrate. Not that she would put any malice in it, but she just didn't concentrate. And quite simple. Like, obviously, Greg, I know what you're going to get into in a minute with the tweets and whatnot, but the horrible display of the cesspool of internet people has been ridiculous over the last 48 hours. So
Right, so we pretty much all agree then. It's the same as the Brie situation, CJ, we talked about it then, and well, it's like, look, it ain't ballet. And
Yep.
Mikey, we talked about it with the Hiromu and Dragon Lee thing on the King of Sports cast, and I think we said the exact same phrase, it ain't ballet. Who coined that phrase? It came from somewhere.
I don't know, but it's a bit of a shit term because ballet.
That's a good question. I don't know.
It's a bit of a shit term because
It's in common use, right, with wrestling. Everyone always says it ain't ballet.
Yeah.
it literally used to be on a it's on a commentary for WWE 2K games. It's like this, it's not, this is not ballet. But I don't like that term because hey, to be on your feet doing ballet all day, you got to be tough. But anyway,
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Anyway, I wanted to talk about some Twitter stuff. So, like you touched on, Mikey, the Twitter hate has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Shazza McKenzie, our very own Australian superstar, Shazza McKenzie, my favorite Australian wrestler, she came out and tweeted something that got a lot of controversy. The internet went crazy today with Shazza McKenzie. I was looking at it, watching it unfold, and I shot her a message. I'm just like, your app mentions are just crazy right now. And she's like, it's not even the worst one I've done this year, which is interesting. I'm going to have to ask her what got her more app mentions than this. But she said this on Twitter today. You know what annoys me? If Becky and Nia were guys, we wouldn't even be having a discussion on the safety of a worker. What do you guys think?
She's got a point.
no. Look, I love Shazza. I don't agree with that though. I understand where she's coming from. I get where she's coming from, but for me, it's just a fact that women's wrestling is at such a larger proportion right now in WWE, especially. All promotions have got great women's wrestling, but WWE has obviously brought theirs to the forefront. So now, the more women's wrestling, the more injuries are going to happen, and the more it's going to be highlighted. It's not a matter of that fans are just targeting women's wrestling injuries. It's a fact that it just happens to be a really high time for women's wrestling, and there's a lot of women's wrestling going on right now. So,
right, so that's something that some people did comment in the mentions. So some of the people were respectful. A lot of people were like, die, bitch, die, because it's Twitter. But a lot of people were saying like, oh, now that women's wrestling, you want to be treated as equals, we're going to criticize you just like we criticize the men. And she's saying that the men don't get criticized in the same way. And you said, you said you were like, I love Shazza, but I disagree. You know who else loves Shazza? Unsocial Jordan. And he disagreed. He disagreed as well. He actually weighed in on Twitter. I thought it was really interesting. So this is obviously Shazza McKenzie's husband. So he laid it out in a way that I think he nails it here. So he's like, to clarify, I agree Nia Jax is being unfairly persecuted. I disagree that male wrestlers don't also get attacked. The issue is people already disliked Nia and Brie, calling back to a few weeks ago, and were looking for an excuse to share their hate, whereas male counterparts are idolized and therefore forgiven. This would happen regardless of gender, though. If Trish hurt someone, people may be angry for a day and then move on because of who she is. Right? And that was because when I look at it, I'm like, what happens is, like with Brie and Nia, they get way more intense hate. Like, they're getting death threats and stuff on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like, you should be fired and you should die in a hole and be alone and no one loves you and all these sorts of comments. And it's like, well, that never happened to Seth. Like, what happened to Seth was Bret Hart said he's unsafe and stuff. And that's all fine. And then Lance Storm actually weighed in. So this is feud of the year for me, right? You got Lance Storm and Shazza McKenzie going at it on Twitter. And he called it, he was like, worker safety discussion happens in all instances. See a statement's bullshit. Don't try to make it a sexist issue when it's not. But I think what she's looking at is the fans, and the way the fans talk about it is different from the way the workers talk about it. And I agree with her completely. And so I have a message to wrestling fans. Okay. And it's the same message that Davis Storm, our Perth alumni, EPW alumni over in Perth, had for Perth wrestling, right? He had this message for wrestlers. We have this message for fans. Don't be shit. It's pretty simple. Just don't be shit. Like, if someone hurts someone, just be like, hey, that sucks. Best wishes. We said this with the Brie thing, right? We said this with the Hiromu thing.
Yeah.
Best wishes to the person who is hurt. It sucks that this happened.
Yeah.
The person who hurt them is probably feeling really fucking bad too. Don't pile on hate and be like, oh, you deserve to die, or you deserve to lose your job, or even just you should tone down your style, which was what Hiromu got, right? Which is far less. Like I said, it's far less than what the women get with the you should die stuff. Whatever it is, keep it to yourself, because you don't know what you're talking about and you're full of crap.
Yeah.
Don't be shit.
Well, I want to jump on that. For me, out of that whole cesspool of Twitter shit from today between Storm, Shazza, and everyone else, for me, the one that came out of looking worse was Storm. Like, I respect him as a wrestler. I always have. I'm sorry if this ever gets heat. I doubt we'll ever talk to someone like a Lance Storm on B+, but oh well. Here's my heat. Lance Storm.
Hey.
What?
We have dreams. We have to have dreams here, Mike.
Yeah, well, Lance Storm's is not a dream. I
love Lance Storm.
Look, as a wrestler and his old characters on WWE, loved it, all the ECW stuff. But he put so much unnecessary heat onto Shazza's, like, just onto Shazza in general today. That, like, the last tweet, I've already made a comment on it. She told me about it. I'm feeling towards it. I just saying you should probably stop talking now. Advice from a senior wrestler or whatever. I was just like
yeah, veteran
I'm
advice, free veteran advice. Stop talking now.
Oh.
That was pretty disgusting. But I think, to be honest, like, I mean, just from the brief chat I had with Shazza, I feel like she has a little bit of fun with it. Like, I don't think she's taking anything on Twitter personally. Yeah. I think, and she's doing well.
Well, the Twitter drama she had earlier in the year, which you know about, was a lot heavier than this one. So
yeah, well, I'll be talking to her about that when we come up to Sydney for PWA's Friday is for the Babes, December 7th. Get out to the show. I'll be talking to Shazza then and doing another interview for the Aussie Graps show. So I kind of invaded the WWE cast with a bit of Aussie Graps stuff with Shazza's Twitter, but I thought it was completely relevant. Get well soon, Becky. It sucks, but I honestly think this is going to work out for the best, because her bloody face, that closing shot of Raw, was superstar making. Like, that's some Stone Cold level passing out in the blood shit that is going to make her a star. And I think this means she's going to headline WrestleMania.
Well, yeah, Uncle Dave tweeted it earlier. He called it earlier. It's, obviously you never...
It's going to swap the story, right? Now, instead of going through Becky and then ending up at Charlotte at Mania, Ronda has to go through Charlotte and end up with Becky at Mania. But I'll let you guys handle all that stuff, and I'm going to go put the kids to bed.
Okay. Well, Greg has some entertaining things to say there, but look, let's get into the rest of the week in WWE, and then I'm sure when we get to the situations on both Raw and SmackDown, we will probably talk about it ourselves a little bit more, but
yes,
I think Greg covered it.
Yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen, Raw opened the show with a Battle Royale to determine the captains of Raw Tag Team match. However, it didn't go as planned, as Braun Strowman interrupted and pretty much destroyed the entire tag team roster, which tends to be his thing. He likes destroying things.
Yeah.
And then he sits in the ring and calls out Corbin. Stephanie comes out and pretty much gives Braun everything he wants, I should say, provided he captains Raw to victory. That's the thing. Braun doesn't care about the roster, nor does he care about Shane. He just wants his Universal title shot and Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
And he gets to pick the stipulation. Stephanie's just giving it all to him. So,
good.
Pretty decent 20-minute promo.
Yeah.
Because it seems to be like the first half hour is talking. I was quite surprised that Raw opened with a match this week, actually.
Yeah, but to be fair, that wasn't even really a match. It was more of a pre-segment match that was there for the segment in a weird way. Like, so that match.
Yeah, true.
You know that match was never going to really happen. So, but yeah.
Oh yeah. And then of course Ronda comes out, tries to put a promo out, and just gets interrupted by Corbin, saying that everyone needs to focus on SmackDown. And eventually, this slowly leads into our first match of Ember Moon versus Tamina Snuka. Does she still go by Tamina Snuka, or is it just Tamina?
I think they've dropped the Snuka for very good reason. But yeah, she's now Tamina.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Tamina, of course, getting a pinfall victory over Ember Moon. And then Nia Jax showing the fact that she's a heel. We're putting this as a heel. Not only did she beat up Ember Moon after the match, but she knocked the hell out of Becky Lynch, which we'll get to later on.
Yeah.
Which we've already touched on. And we get a small little in-ring promo between Seth Rollins and Corey Graves. Just saying that Seth wants answers, but Dean's not man enough. This whole segment is now just boring me.
Yep.
I don't know about you, but
The only thing
this whole former Shield stuff annoys me.
Yeah, I'm over it. We saw this 4 years ago, flipped on the other side 3 years ago. When the day that Roman ever comes back, I'm sure we'll get more of it. So,
Oh, more than likely.
yeah, more than likely. So, yeah, I'm over it. The only thing I liked that came out of this segment was what Naka said on SmackDown, but we'll touch on that when we get to SmackDown.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing
definitely.
I liked coming out of this promo.
It's Shinsuke Nakamura. The best thing about the Dean and Seth feud, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah. And quick shout out, they showed, because they were in Kansas City this week, my fantasy boy Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce were sitting ringside. They showed it just before the Seth Rollins Dean Ambrose segment. I made that note in my notes. I'm like, he's my boy. I had to call it. But yeah, Tyreek Hill from the Kansas City Chiefs was in the wrestling crowd. Good boy. I love when NFL.
Nice.
I love when NFL fans are wrestling fans, because you're like, maybe he'll come to wrestling when he's retired. But yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Then we get a cute little recap about Kurt Angle losing his match last week against Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Then we get a little promo as well, with Kurt's music starting to play. Then the Scratch and Dolph and Drew come out. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Loved it.
And then Drew going on to saying that he broke Kurt Angle. He embarrassed him. Humiliated him. And then enter Finn Balor.
Yeah.
So,
this is better for Finn. I know we were saying last week we were over the whole Bobby Lashley Finn Balor thing, so I'm glad that they look like they're done with this in a weird way. I would really love Balor and McIntyre team up. I don't know, for me, not just because one's Irish, one's Scottish, but they would just be brilliant together for some reason. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can see it as a team, but I don't know. I see it.
I can see him as more of a faction, not so much a team.
Yeah.
Introduce Sheamus and Pete Dunne and have what I think was on WWE 12 as the United Kingdom faction.
Yeah. Or even
I think that's what they need to do.
Yeah. Or even retry the was it World Elite? No, World Elite was Impact. What was the team that Rusev, Barrett, Sheamus, and Thingy was in? What was that team name? Was it?
Oh, United Nations. Was it United? No, it wasn't United Nations.
Something like that. Yeah, retry that, because that was a great stable idea. It just unfortunately because of Barrett.
It was.
Unfortunately because of Barrett and Del Rio, it just didn't work. But if you had people like Finn now or not Big Damo, sorry, Killian Dane and all these sort of guys, mate, you'd be able to do a proper one now. But anyway, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we get a match between Dolph Ziggler and Finn Balor, with Finn Balor getting the win over Dolph Ziggler in a solid back and forth match. After the match, we get an announcement that Finn Balor is officially on Team Raw.
Yes, same.
Will we get to see Demon Finn at Survivor Series?
Hope so, but this means we also may, because of the stuff that happened on SmackDown, we may get Finn and AJ one more time in a ring, one-on-one. But anyway, yeah, maybe I hope to see the Demon. But the Demon usually means that he's either going to win or it's going to be a major angle. Unfortunately, as much as I love my Finn Balor, he's there to probably take the pin in the team. I don't.
Yeah, I'd say. I hate to admit it, as much as I love Finn Balor, I reckon he's going to be the first person to eat the pin.
I think he was. Was he last year one of the first ones eliminated? If he was in the team, I swear he was.
Was he in the team last year?
One of them, but I think it was last year. That like Shinsuke, Finn, and someone else were all out within the first 5 minutes. I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's how you're gonna play this. But anyway, but yeah, I'm stoked for Finn to be in the team. He needs to be in there.
Yeah, definitely needs to. And we get a nice little promo from Ronda Rousey. I don't know about you, big boy, but I'm finding that Ronda is getting absolutely amazing
She
at
is.
her promos.
Whether Ronnie Rousey and the man, Becky Lynch, are working together with this, which I'm guessing they are, Ronda Rousey has come leap in bounds with her promos because Rousey is better. None of this cheesy stuff with the Bellas and, talking about John Cena and all this shit. Ronda is, it's the way that they're taught in UFC. The promo in UFC. She's better as a smartass, and Becky Lynch brings that smartass promos out of Ronda, and I think that works better.
Yeah, it does. Now, I've actually got a little clip from Ronda's promo. If it's alright to you, I just want to read it real quick.
Yeah.
So Ronda goes on, and I quote, "Put the violins away, champ. You are not Oliver Twist, and I am not some trust fund golden baby. Every fan I got has watched me sweat for every single ounce of their respect and watched me bleed for every inch of progress, watched me mourn every single setback, and sure as hell didn't pour my heart and soul into meaning of fight like a girl so the leader of the women's evolution could call herself the man."
Yeah.
This bit here alone puts a whole lot more meaning onto this match for me. Because in a sense, from what I'm seeing, is it's the woman of the women's evolution versus the man of the women's evolution. That's where I'm getting, and this is building to Mania now. I reckon we're going to get Becky and Ronda at Mania.
Well, we touched on it with Greg at the start. Maybe we'll wait until the final segment of the night to really dive into it. But yes, I agree.
So then we get a little Ruby Riott segment saying that pretty much that she didn't really care about the glasses. The only reason that Jim actually wore the glasses was that so that he could shade himself away from his own daughter. That was gold.
Yeah.
Loved it. And of course, Natalya attacking Ruby Riott from behind and then getting hit by her own heart attack. That was a slap in the face, which was great.
Yep.
Then, of course, we get the Tag Team Battle Royal again for the second time of the night.
Yes.
So most of these guys just play double duty.
Yeah. I'm sure they would have loved a little double payday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. But what really annoys me is Loser House Party got like the better odds on this. It frustrated me. But they ended up losing, and Gable and Rude win to captain Team Raw.
I'm shaking my fist at you, C-Jaii. But I'm glad the Revival didn't win because the Revival shit. Sorry, Greg. But anyway, no, good for Gable and Rude. So I'm guessing the other four teams in this match are going to be the other four teams with them. That's
so we'll
B team Revival section, Lucha.
Yeah, so we'll touch on that further down the line when we actually hit the
SmackDown side of stuff.
Yeah. When we hit the Survivor Series preview. And then Paul Heyman goes out to have his promo, saying that Brock will absolutely destroy AJ Styles. Just my favorite line of this entire thing was, for those kids who don't get the reference to Hotel California, Google it, bitch. I'm not here to educate you. Love it.
Yep.
That is just ECW coming in and Paul Heyman, and it just fuels the fire. And then Jinder Mahal comes out for reasons and pretty much get absolutely demolished.
I was gonna say, I loved hearing Brock actually get on the mic for once. It's rare to get him on the mic, so it's nice to hear it.
Yeah, I actually completely forgot what Brock sounded like. I'm not gonna lie. Mind you, every time he does his little baby cry, it's just that's frustrating.
It is. It's so frustrating hearing him talk. I understand why Paul Heyman's with him and why he needs a mouthpiece, because it just reminds me that he screeches like a girl. It's like I don't know. Anyway, I hope I never meet him and he ever hears this, because I'll probably die. But yeah,
probably.
Seriously, it's rough.
And then we get a Elias coming out and having a match against Bobby Lashley with the 10-year-old at ringside.
Yeah. Speaking of those 10-year-olds and screeches that annoy me.
Lashley.
Oh, man.
At least he wasn't on the mic for this. But yeah, of course, we get Bobby Lashley defeating Elias via countout due to the fact that Leo Rush poked his little head out from under the ring to grab Elias and prevent him from getting in. And then Elias attacking Leo Rush after the match, which was good. He had what was coming to him. Bobby Lashley advancing to the final spot of Team Raw.
I'm a bit disappointed that Elias isn't in the team.
It's probably better, to be honest.
Yeah. Hopefully he costs Bobby Lashley, Bobby Lashley will eat a pinfall due to Elias. Hopefully that he.
Maybe.
But we'll touch on it. Yeah.
Or one of the SmackDown guys will get disqualified because Elias just randomly coming in smashes a guitar over Bobby Lashley.
Oh yeah, true. Yep. Yeah, that's probably something about right. But yeah.
And then we have Alexa Bliss in the ring saying she's about to announce the Raw women's team. She announces Tamina, Nia Jax, and Mickie James, of course, who are already in the ring with her. And then she says that the final competitor will be based on the next match, which we get Bayley vs. Sasha, which was a decent match. I love these.
Yeah.
Love how they actually put on a decent match when Sasha Banks doesn't botch half the show. But yeah, it got interrupted by Nia and Mickie attacking them, causing the no contest. And then Alexa just randomly announcing that Ruby Riott was the last person, but Ruby Riott wasn't in the match. You figure?
I like that better because Ruby Riott is definitely better than Sasha and Bayley. But anyway.
Yeah, definitely. So the Raw girls are in the ring having this little segment. And then we get to the spot where it is shown that Becky is backstage demolishing Ronda Rousey's arm with the disarmer.
Yep.
And just the screaming of agony that Ronda was showing, that was fantastic.
And then that leads into the segment that changed the landscape of WWE. The one segment that, it's literally changed the complete next 4 months. Probably alongside Roman's health. This moment here was one of the biggest game changers leading into Mania. So, yeah.
That's exactly right. So we saw all the women from SmackDown invade Raw, and they start getting to all in brawl. At the end of the segment, you don't actually see it happen on Raw because all the cameras aren't really focusing on it. But Becky cops a stiff right hand, which we heard from Greg at the beginning of the show. So she's all bloodied up. It makes for a really good ending of Monday Night Raw, leading to the fact that SmackDown invaded 3 years in a row. I'm putting this out there. Raw has to invade next year.
Oh, yeah. I was 100% expecting something for SmackDown, which we'll touch on in a second. Nothing happened.
Yeah. Nothing.
We'll touch on it with SmackDown, but if SmackDown doesn't dominate Survivor Series this year, then there's something wrong, because SmackDown tag team, women's and men's team is 10 times more superior than their Raw counterparts.
Oh, that's exactly right. And we'll touch on SmackDown in a couple of seconds after we have a quick little dance break and we listen to our sponsors.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
The B Plus is growing, and we want you to be a part of it. So if you have an idea for a podcast, or if you want to write reviews for shows, whether that's WWE, New Japan, local shows especially, we have a big focus on Aussie Graps here. So if you go out to shows in Melbourne, we specifically need people in New Zealand, Tasmania, and Queensland. If you go out to shows in those areas, please let us know. We would love to hear from you. We would love to work with you. If you have a passion for wrestling and you want to write about anything wrestling, it can be anything. It can be listicles, it can be in-depth articles, opinion pieces, show reviews, whatever you want to do. If it's wrestling, it's fair game. Shoot us a message or send an email to thebplus@unchained.media. That's thebplus@unchained.media. Let us know what you want to do, and we'll get back to you, and we'll work something out, because the B Plus is growing, and we want to grow the B Plus family.
Hey, Greg, curious question for you, man. Have you been shopping recently?
I have not.
Mate, well, I've got some good news for you. I know you're not a big fan of crowds, as most of us here at the B Plus aren't. Have you heard of Threadbox?
I have heard of Threadbox.
Man, then you would know how good they actually are. I mean, I just received my first crate, and holy moly, I'm amazed. Guys, if you're listening, go check out threadbox.com.au. And they have everything from hats to socks to shirts to pants. It's fantastic. With email to a personalized stylist and customizable crates, it's honestly one of the best things I've had. I don't know about you, Greg, but I really enjoy it.
I got a crate the other day, and they gave me new jeans, a couple of new shirts, and the cool thing is, one of the shirts I tried it on, and it was a little bit long for me, and I thought this accentuates how short I am in person, and so I sent them an email, and I was just like, hey. This shirt, I feel like it makes me look really short because I'm kind of short. And they were like, send it back. We'll give you something else next month, like an extra thing. So I'm going to send that shirt back. And then next month, they're going to send me out something else. And I said to them, I've got lots of shirts. And they were like, well, we'll send you some accessories. And that's how Threadbox do it. It's kind of fantastic.
So how good's that? And with our special code, the B Plus 15 at checkout, actually saves all our fans 15% at checkout on their first box. How cool is that?
Yeah, so head to threadbox.com.au today and use the code the B Plus 15 to get your first box as soon as you can.
So SmackDown opens the show with a quick recap. They officially announced that Becky Lynch is indeed injured, suffering a severe concussion and a broken face. Love the term. Hate the injury. Love the term. So we're officially going to have a change to Survivor Series. No one was looking forward to that at all. Then we get AJ Styles in the ring, saying a promo that he was facing Brock for the second year in a row. Paul Heyman comes through the crowd. Like, who the heck expected that? That was awesome.
No. Yeah.
And Paul Heyman goes on to say that AJ Styles was nothing but a consolation prize. That he was weaker compared to everyone else, pretty much. And then they keep mentioning Daniel Bryan. All of a sudden, Daniel Bryan comes out. And he starts to get cranky and he says, why are you mentioning me? Why do you keep talking about me? If you mention me one more time, I'm going to punch you in the face. Of course, this is directing to AJ Styles.
Yeah.
So then AJ and Bryan get into a war of words and Bryan officially attacks AJ Styles. So they go on at it. Shane jumps in and a bunch of refs jump in and pull them apart from inside the ring. Paul Heyman is a god at creating rivalries. This was solid work.
He is just 100% the best manager of this part of the decade of wrestling. Closest that will ever come to is Bobby Heenan. But yeah, he's absolutely God. He can sell anything. He could sell ice to an Eskimo, mate. Seriously.
That's exactly right.
Just solid.
And speaking of how he can make things sell, the rivalry between AJ and Bryan got officially heated that even backstage they were still screaming at each other, where Shane booked AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE title at the end of the show. So that was pretty good. I was pretty looking forward to that. Then we get a quick match between Jeff Hardy and Andrade Cien Almas, with Jeff surprisingly getting the victory.
Yeah, and a really fun match, actually. It's short, it was quick, but really fun. It was really fun.
Oh, yeah. I think no matter who Almas is in the ring with, it's always really good.
Oh, he could wrestle a broomstick and make it look good. Honestly.
So, backstage, quick little segment of Miz promoting his movie, The Marine 6, now out on DVD and Blu-ray. I don't know why I did that. It is officially told that Daniel Bryan is off the team, so he decides to add Jeff Hardy, which was good move. Yep. Tries to remove Rey Mysterio, but Paige makes a match between the two, and if Miz wins, Rey is officially off the team.
Okay.
So that
like that.
It was interesting. Then we get what I personally think is the best thing about the Dean and Seth rivalry is Shinsuke Nakamura. It's a little backstage segment with Shinsuke saying that Seth was more focused on Dean. And then Shinsuke goes on to say that Seth broke his heart, so at Survivor Series, he will break Seth's face.
Yeah, which I don't know if he had already recorded that before they announced that Becky's face was broken, but breaking faces seems to be the new thing in WWE. But Yeah, like there's that little saying that he's heartbroken that Rollins isn't thinking about him, but he promises to break his face. I'm like, oh, that actually made up for the shit segment between Rollins and Ambrose last night. But
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah,
And then we go on to get The Miz versus Rey Mysterio, with Rey defeating The Miz and staying in the SummerSlam team. I mean, Survivor Series, because Corey Graves stuffed that up. I love this. He's like,
I was gonna say it is an easy mistake to make.
oh, it is. I just like picking on commentators when they make mistakes like that. And then after the match, Randy Orton tries to attack Rey Mysterio, but Rey escapes as Randy RKO's The Miz.
Yep, love it.
So that's something. And then we get the segment of the night where, personally, I think was the segment of the night.
Yep.
Where all of the girls are in the ring, and Becky Lynch is officially choosing her replacement for Survivor Series.
Yep.
And who does she pick? But none other than the Golden Child, Charlotte Flair.
Makes sense. Makes all the booking sense in the world. While she is still technically, quote unquote, Becky's still technically a heel.
Yep.
She respects her opponents that she's just been to war with for the last 2 or 3 months. She knows that she'd get the job done. Obviously, for ratings wise, the only person versing Ronda that made sense with a week's notice is Charlotte. Who else do you give Ronda with a week's notice on the SmackDown roster? There's no one.
No, that's exactly right.
Maybe Asuka, but Charlotte, Charlotte makes sense right now.
See, I thought it was going to be Asuka until they announced Charlotte, so
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed with that. But I'm just going to go into fantasy booking here real quick.
Yep.
So we now have Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. This is a match that they wanted to close WrestleMania next year.
Yep.
What if instead of them closing in a singles match, because they now officially have Ronda and Becky in a segment with each other,
Yep.
there's 2 out of the 4 horsewomen from the WWE attacking one. What happens is if Shayna Baszler and the other 2 girls from NXT, I can't remember their names for the life of me.
Yep. Jasmine and Marina.
Yeah, what if they come up to the aid of Ronda, and then Bayley and Sasha come to the aid of Becky and Charlotte, and we finally have the lead 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen at WrestleMania.
Look, I'm all for that. I think it's something that could happen. The other option, I'd love to see the 4-on-4. It just needs to happen. Worst comes to worst, I hope it's not this. Worst comes to worst, it's Becky versus Ronda 1-on-1, and Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley versus the other 3. Worst comes to worst,
Yeah,
because
could work.
I personally now I want 1-on-1 Becky versus Ronda, and like you said, Ronda is 100%, especially since Roman's injury has come to being public. His health. He is 100% out of WrestleMania, so now the WrestleMania headline is 100% going to be Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no other bigger sell. The Rock can't be guaranteed he's going to be there. There's no guarantee that Cena's ever going to be there. No Triple H. You have to sell over Ronda Rousey. She's your biggest star anyway.
Yeah.
Public figure wise, she's already the most popular.
Definitely.
And then
I think you're right. I
Charlotte
think Ronda will main event.
Yeah. I know people are going to be sour grapes about this because why does Ronda deserve main event? It's because who she is. If it was going to be against someone like a Nikki Bella, I would go, yeah, okay, that sucks because neither of them need a main event like that. However, Ronda versus Becky gives Becky becomes a mega superstar from headlining WrestleMania. She becomes one of the biggest female wrestlers in the world. And that's what you need from your star power. Your star power needs to make new star power. So perfect for me. If that does happen, it is on the rumor cards, but we'll obviously close to the time we'll confirm everything. But I agree with your fantasy booking. It needs to start leading to all this 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen.
Now the question after this as well is who replaces Charlotte in the tag team match.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's going to be an interesting thought, actually.
That's the first thing that I have to say is who replaces Charlotte? Is there going to be a call-up?
Potentially.
Or is it going to be Mandy Rose?
Either Mandy Rose or, like, can one of the Iconics get a spot in there, please? Like, what's the Iconics got to do to get in there? Like
yeah,
they're
true.
better than Carmella. They're better than Carmella. I mean, Peyton's better than Carmella. God damn it. I know Carmella had a big year, but still. Yeah, I'd go Peyton Royce, or it's going to be Mandy, or, like you said, could be a call-up. Shayna could drop her title on Sunday at Takeover and debut on SmackDown on Survivor Series. So, never know.
That'd be interesting. Yeah,
there you go.
And then we get the New Day versus the Bar and Big Show, and a quick match where you get Big Show and Bar win again. I'm over this feud, completely over it.
Yeah.
We get a nice little backstage promo of the Usos.
Yeah.
With all the different teams that he's got. So he's talking with the Gallows and Anderson, the Colognes, Sanity, and it just... I don't know if you guys follow us on the B Plus on Facebook page, but I shared this to the page, and this was absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
This is how Survivor Series segments should be done.
Yeah. This sort of gives me that throwback to... Not even just throwback. I'm talking like 10 years ago when like Punk was teaming with DX and the Hardys. Like, you'd have the teams all sort of in the ring, and then one team would be standing in the crowd and they'd look united. And this sort of segment made them look so united. Like, other than maybe the men's SmackDown team, which has got a couple of little different rivalries in there, the women's team looks solid. Yes, they need one more piece. But they look united. The tag team looks united. I love this segment so much. It just gave me such a old school Survivor Series feel, and like it was good. The SmackDown tag teams should clean house on the Raw tag teams.
It should do. Definitely should.
Raw tag teams are literally main event. Like, they're on main event every week. SmackDown tag teams.
Yep.
Yeah, the Colognes and sometimes Carl and Luke kind of look like jobbers, but the Usos, Sanity, and New Day are three of the best teams in the main roster. So yeah, they should clean house in there. So
then we get to the main event: AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. Really good, quick match, a heel turn, and a new WWE champion.
Yeah, holy shit! So the rumors that
who saw this?
No one, because from the rumors from the reports from my uncle Dave, supposedly this was a decision that was made 18 hours prior. However, the rumor is a lot of people think that this has happened due to the whole Becky thing, to get Bryan into the main event to give it some underdog feeling at the Survivor Series. But supposedly Daniel's been pushing to turn heel with Vince for a while. And for some reason Vince...
I've read that too,
And Vince has decided to pull the trigger. Whether that was due to Becky, but Daniel's been pushing this for a while. But look, for me, it's a bit weird to see AJ losing the title in just a SmackDown. I do like the fact that you can lose the title on TV, like Raw. Book your champions like this, please. Not, once every 6 months at a pay-per-view. But it gives the, you can lose your championship on a SmackDown episode. Like, that's the way TV should be booked. Like, you don't need your WWE champion defending. You don't need your WWE champion wrestling or defending the title every week. But, one SmackDown in every 6 months with a title match gives you that little spontaneous, like, oh my god, like there's a WWE title match. And then for it to change on a SmackDown, holy shit. And then complete that with a heel turn of probably the biggest babyface in their company. I know Greg wanted to say something about this, and he's actually called this episode, what is it? Where Daniel Bryan is not a heel. Sorry, Greg, Daniel Bryan is a heel.
Yeah, I have to admit, this is a heel turn. This is 2012 Daniel Bryan all over again.
This is not. It's not going to last long. I understand that because Daniel Bryan is too good of a wrestler to be booed. Like he's going to get cheered for some sort of things, but like he's going to get cheered against Brock. Like we know that.
Oh, 100%.
Everyone that wrestles Brock is going to. Jinder Mahal got cheered against Brock the other day. So yeah, he's not going to be heel this weekend. No, he's not going to be heel at Survivor Series, but he will be heel.
No.
He will be similar to Becky. He won't be a cheating heel. Yes, he did a low blow, but he won't be a dirty cheating heel. He'll be a vicious, like crazy, like a sort of violent heel. But that's how he is. So I hope it goes. I hope it goes down a bit more American Dragon style. So when he was heel on the indie scene, when he's American Dragon, he was just outright lethal, and that's just how it is. So I hope he does do that.
That's the best way to do
They
it.
teased a little bit of a crazy kind of feel from him at the end of it. Like he kind of went like a crazy laugh. So maybe his story is going to be that he spiraled out of control after all these years of, with all these depression issues and all that. Maybe he spiraled out of control and just had enough. But, it's a fantastic moment for me. A lot of people I've read, it rubbed people the wrong way, but I actually didn't mind it.
No, I like it. I think it was perfect timing. So that's it for main roster.
All right, so Raw and SmackDown, very solid this week with the go-home shows onto Survivor Series. 205 actually has a go-home show because 205 actually had the title match and is on main card for now. Touch wood. It's still on main card.
For now.
So these are the results from the show. Then me and Corey will just go back through one or two things that we like. So we had Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher defeat Akira Tozawa and Brian Kendrick. In a match, we had the Lucha House Party, not the Loser House Party, Kalisto and Lindsay defeat some local jobbers in Mike Karma and Craig Kieseman. I know a lot of pro wrestlers. I've never heard of them in my life. Then we had Cedric Alexander defeat Leo Rush in the main event. What were your takeaways from the 205 episode this week, mate?
Mate, 205 was fantastic. It was good for a go-home show. Got the weigh-in, the official weigh-in where Mustafa Ali weighed in, I think it was 189, I think it was. And Buddy weighed in exactly 204 pounds. Yeah. Like, that was good.
Yeah, obviously that's premeditated, that one, because this jury's still out if Buddy's actually under 205 or not. But, yeah.
I'd say he's exactly 204. That main event was fantastic. Leo eating his very first loss on 205.
Yeah. I love Leo as a wrestler on 205. Yes, he gets annoying as shit on Raw with Lashley, but the 205 version of Leo is brilliant. But yeah, taking his first loss, but a fantastic match.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome match.
Fantastic.
And yeah, like you said, a solid episode of 205 again. Got a little bit more of the rivalry between Lucha House Party and TJP and Mike Kanellis. Actually, Maria was the one to give him the promo this week via video. Solid stuff. Yeah, another great episode of 205 for me, as always.
Yeah, definitely great episode.
Yeah. Then, so that's ending the main roster, technically. Then we jump down to... Not jump down to, what I say down to, because in my opinion, NXT's up these days. There we go. We go to NXT US, or just NXT. Again, we'll just run down the matches, and then we'll talk about what we loved. We had what we loved and didn't like, sorry. Then we had Bianca Belair defeating Mia Yim. Lacey Evans defeating Carissa Rivera. We had Kyle O'Reilly defeat Hanson in the main event. What do you think of NXT this week, buddy?
One of the main things that I want to point out is Bianca Belair is still undefeated. Are you happy, Greg?
Yeah.
So she retains her undefeated streak again. Fantastic. I really want to know who's going to beat her. That's the one thing that I want to know, and I'm so eager to find out is who will defeat Bianca Belair.
Yeah, it's an impressive, impressive start to her NXT career. Like how long has she been there for? Nearly a year since the last Mae Young. So, yes, it's a solid undefeated streak.
Yeah.
Obviously, she hasn't come across the guys like Baszler and Kairi Sane in like the main events of NXT takeovers yet, but she'll get there. And yeah, I don't know who the first person is going to be to beat her, but look, for me, match of the week, easily Kyle and Hanson. I've seen these two battle each other for the last 5 years, both in New Japan and Ring of Honor, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, all over America. Another solid match. Hanson and Rowe, like when we would get the one-on-one with Rose later, they are so impressive for big men. Like, Hanson's, like, he didn't connect it, but his moonsault is so clean, and for a big guy is so beautiful. Like, it is a thing of beauty to see.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm excited for NXT TakeOver. Look, we do need a preview Survivor Series. Do you want to do a quick preview of War Games 2? There's only 4 matches because, unfortunately, Riddle and Ono has been taken off the card for booking reasons, which is fair enough. I can't wait.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So there's only 4 matches for TakeOver this year. TakeOver War Games number 2, taking place from Staples Center, the same place the Survivor Series will be taking place. So first we've got the grudge match between Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano. This is going to be a fucking all-out war, this match.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a fantastic match.
Potentially Johnny Gargano's 3rd 5-star match of the year. Just awesome. Then we get that 8-man tag team War Games match between Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and War Raiders, taking on the undisputed era of Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roddy Strong. We now know that Kyle O'Reilly got the upper hand for the undisputed era with his win against Hanson. So they get the advantage. So they'll be in first. They'll have the first 2-on-1. So they'll always have 2-on-1, 3-on-2, whatever. Just a quick note about this. I haven't listened to the call, but on Wrestling Observer, they have a breakdown of the NXT conference call today with Triple H. And he said, on quote unquote, something like they've learned some from mistakes from last year. This year's War Games match is going to be even better. So I'm scared to see what that's going to be because last year's War Games match was absolutely brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what improvements they've made for the cage or whatever. I really hope it's sealed because...
Yeah, it's supposed to be sealed this year.
Oh, that's going to be brilliant. I mean... These are 8 of the best fucking wrestlers in the world in one in-ring. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, definitely.
Then we get the 2 title matches. So we got NXT Women's title match between 2 out of 3 falls match, by the way, with Shayna defending against Kairi Sane. This is match 4 between them, or match 5 in there ever since Mae Young Classic.
Match 5
since Mae Young Classic 1. This is another rivalry. I'm going to take a stab and say this is Shayna Baszler's last NXT match. Either this or at Rumble she will debut. So either this or the NXT before the Rumble she'll drop the title. I have a feeling she'll drop the title this month. This one.
Yeah, I think you're right. With the last couple of matches that we've gone over, I reckon Gargano's going to go over.
Oh, yeah.
Undisputed Era will go over, and Kairi Sane.
Yep. I'm going to go with, Johnny Gargano going over Aleister Black. I'm going to actually have Undisputed Era go as well. But I'm going to, just a little twist, I'm going to have a little, not a heel turn because I don't know when he ever turned face. I think Pete Dunne might accidentally, screw Ricochet. And we might get UK champion versus North American champion at the Rumble one, whatever it's called this year. So I think they might something happen there. But like you said, I agree with you. Undisputed Era wins that. I go with Kairi Sane for this, and then we get the main event. We get Tommaso fucking Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream. All 4 matches are just mouth-watering, but this has got something special to it. I don't know. Velveteen is just one of those superstars on a absolute tear right now. I'm scared what happens to him when he gets to the main roster, but for now, at NXT level, he's a fucking god, and I cannot wait for this match.
Well, you know what? This is where my pick comes into it. I know that we all know that NXT wants to keep him. We all know that Triple H wants to keep Dream in NXT. This is where they put the strap on him. This is where Velveteen wins the NXT Championship.
Yep, I can see it. I can see maybe Alistair or Johnny costing Ciampa again, being part of that, and Velveteen getting it. Yep. Absolutely. So that's NXT and the preview for War Games. But shall we just do a quick little smash out through NXT UK, and then we can get into Survivor Series?
Go for it.
Right, did you get to watch NXT UK, by the way?
I didn't this week, actually, but I've seen little clips here and there online, so I'm very considering trying to get into it.
Well, they're catching up very fast because they're doing 2 episodes a week. They're trying to catch up because, as the awkward moment was at Evolution, they couldn't really do the NXT UK stuff with Rhea Ripley because she wasn't a champion on TV by then. If that makes sense. Did I spoil that for you?
No. I've seen the results.
Okay, back to regular podcasting. So they're finally caught up this week. So first episode, let's just run through the results. We had Jordan Devlin beat Sid Scala. I've never heard of Scala. Scala's new to me. Jordan Devlin, I think I touched on last week, is Finn Balor's protege back from Ireland. He's fucking phenomenal. He got a really solid victory there. Then we got Saxon Huxley and Joseph Connors beating Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams. We also got Wolfgang defeating Ashton Smith. Wolfgang had Joe and Mark Coffey in his corner. Solid main event. I didn't really know a lot about Ashton Smith going into NXT UK. Like, I watch a lot of UK independent wrestling, Progress, Rev Pro, all that. I've never really heard of Ashton Smith. But he is phenomenal. He's really entertaining. Wolfgang is just that little bit more entertaining. But another really solid episode of NXT UK. Oh, sorry, I missed one match. Also, Tyler Bate took on James Drake. Tyler Bate got the victory there in another solid match. Tyler Bate always just looks so good. But yeah, really solid episode of NXT UK. But the more important one is episode 2. So episode 2, they had Triple H and Johnny Saint come out with the WWE UK NXT UK Women's Belt and reveal it to the world. So we are now up to the NXT UK Women's Championship being on screen. They have set up the tournament between 8 of the women's wrestlers. I think of all of them. I think it's Dakota Kai, Ginny, Nina Samuels, Millie McKenzie, Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm. So really great lineup of women's wrestlers for this tournament. I'll just run down the card. So they started the UK Women's Title Tournament on this episode. We got Dakota Kai defeating Nina Samuels in round 1. So yay for the Kiwis. Dakota Kai is my gal. She's a legend. She is so fucking phenomenal. Then we got Tyson T-Bone defeating Jake Constantino. Tyson T-Bone is a absolute weapon. He's been around for years and years. He was actually trained. He was trained by Robbie Brookside, whose daughter is actually in the tournament, and he was actually trained by Hanson from the War Raiders. So he's phenomenal. He took this guy down in 2 minutes. I have no idea who Constantino is. I think he was an ex-British MMA fighter, but I don't really know much about him. Anyway, then we got Dave Mastiff taking on Dan Maloney. Again, another big fellow who's just solid. I love Dave Mastiff. He is so good. He reminds me of Vader. Very Vader-esque. Solid match here. Then we got another NXT UK Women's Title Tournament match where Ginny defeated Millie McKenzie in round 1. So phenomenal. Oh, sorry. And then we had Zach Gibson defeat Trent Seven after James Drake cost Trent Seven the match there. So that's playing into Zach Gibson and James Drake taking on Seven and Bate for the NXT UK tag titles. So another solid night of NXT UK there. I really recommend getting both hours in on your weekend there, Corey, because he's NXT UK is just flourishing. Learned so much about all these new guys. Yeah. But so I'm excited that the NXT UK Women's Championship is now finally being shown to the world. They're doing 2 episodes a week. They should catch up quite quickly. We won't reveal who the winner is on the podcast just in case you haven't watched it. But, fantastic. Fantastic stuff from NXT UK. But we have a solid maybe 15, 20 minutes left. Let's run down the 2018 WWE Survivor Series.
Let's do this. So, we'll open with what I'm pretty sure will end up on the pre-show, which is the only title match in the entire card for the Cruiserweight Championship, Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali.
Yeah. So excited for this match. I'll be devastated if it's on the pre-show. They deserve to be on the main roster, on the main card. If anything, the tag, the Raw vs. SmackDown Live 10-man tag should be on the pre-show, if anything. Not this, because this deserves to be on the main show.
Definitely.
Buddy Murphy retains. I know Mustafa Ali is due for his title win, but Buddy Murphy has only been champion for 2 months.
No. I'm sorry, I'm picking Buddy Murphy for this match.
Yeah.
And I'm putting this out there now to everyone who's listening. If Buddy Murphy loses this quickly, I'm boycotting 205 Live.
Yeah, I would be too.
He deserves a solid run.
He does. Look, Mustafa Ali does deserve a title win too one day. But, his time will come. Buddy Murphy has been, in my opinion, one of the best things about 205 in ages. Like, they're back on the main roster. So this is the first Cruiserweight title match on a main roster pay-per-view in about a year. When was the last time that they were on main roster? When Neville and Aries were
at Crown Jewel.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that was
Crown Jewel, technically.
Yeah, technically.
But before that was Neville and Aries.
Yeah, which is it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with Buddy on that.
Yeah, our boy Buddy's got to take it home. Then we get the 5-on-5 tag team elimination match. Team Raw being made up of Bobby Roode and Shea Gable as the captains, with the Revival, B-Team, Loser House Party, and the Ascension versus Team SmackDown, with the Usos captaining the New Day, Sanity, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and the Colognes.
Yeah. So, from what I have understood, there's no guarantee. Do you know, it's actually, they haven't decided, because there's 2 3-man tags, there's 3 2-man tags in there, actually. So, Raw's got a 3-man tag in Lucha House Party, with Metal League, Kalisto, and Lindsay Dorado, versus SmackDown Live, but they got Alexander Wolf, Eric Young, and Killian Dane of Sanity. Then you got the New Day of Big E, Xavier Woods, and Kofi. So obviously, I'm guessing one member of each of the 3-man teams have to step out. I hope it's Metalik and Kalisto representing Lucha, and I hope it's Eric Young and Killian Dane representing SmackDown, representing Sanity, and I hope it's Big E and Xavier Woods for New Day. I love Xavier getting some game time on pay-per-views, but I'm guessing they're going to have to do that because that'd be 12 and 11. Wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, they'll end up sending 3 people to the back.
Yeah.
You can see it coming.
Yeah.
So my pick, of course, Team Blue, Bleeding Unity, Team SmackDown is my pick.
Yeah. I'm sticking with you, Team Blue. I'm not going to probably be Team Blue all the way through because I've got my predictions versus my heart will waver. Yep. But yeah, for the tag matches, I'm pretty much going to be on SmackDown because that SmackDown tag team, 10-man tag match, that SmackDown team is just, that's solid. Like, that's lethal team. So, yeah. But
that's exactly right.
Yep.
Next match, we get the Raw Tag Team Champions AOP with Drake Maverick versus The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro as the SmackDown Tag Team Champions with The Big Show.
Yep. The Bar Show.
My pick is AOP.
Is it the show bar or the bar show?
Bar show.
Show bar. No, AOP witness. Yep.
Yeah. And then we get the women's tag team match where we get Team Raw of Mickie James, Nia Jax, Tamina, Natalya, and Ruby Riott with Alexa Bliss, Liv, and Sarah Logan at ringside.
Yeah.
Versus Team SmackDown of Carmella, Naomi, Sonya Deville, Asuka, and an unknown competitor.
Yep. Vacant gets another match. Vacant gets another match in Survivor Series. Yeah.
Vacant picks the win.
Yeah, Vacant picks yeah, like we sort of touched on it before, there's two easy options that they could take in either Peyton Royce and Mandy Rose, or they could go a cheeky call-up with someone like a Shayna Baszler, or if Kairi Sane loses on Sunday at TakeOver, bring Kairi Sane up. So they could cheat.
Actually,
yeah.
I just thought of something. What if it is an NXT call-up? The Iconics come out and be like, oh, we're so glad to be a part of Team SmackDown because we are SmackDown for life. And you get like Carmella or Sonya Deville or someone on the mic being like, no, we didn't pick you.
Yeah.
And then they go, we want someone who actually wins. Someone who is undefeated.
Ooh. That could be something.
I'm calling Bianca Belair to debut.
Okay.
Or as Matt Riddle puts it, debut at Survivor Series.
Debut. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna say that SmackDown, that WWE just I was about to say pussy out of doing it. That's a wrong term to do. Yeah, I'd say they fuck up the booking here and just put in a Mandy Rose or something for now. But
yeah.
But yeah,
but either way, I'm going Team SmackDown.
Yeah, and how do you think Nia's going to be on Sunday? I'm sorry, Monday.
I don't know. I reckon she'll probably eat the pin first.
Yeah.
I think that'll be her punishment, and she'll eat the pin within the first 3 minutes.
Quick little ask a bump to the face straight away.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's it. I think the crowd's going to eat her alive, and I'm scared for her.
Oh, yeah, so am I.
Yeah.
But that's wrestling politics, apparently.
Yep.
Then we get the 5-on-5 Survivor Series men's match where we get Team Raw, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Bobby Lashley with Corbin and Rush at ringside versus Team SmackDown of The Miz, Shane McMahon, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and Jeff Hardy.
Okay, this is the first time that I'm actually going to go with Team Raw, actually. I was always SmackDown unless AJ replaces Shane in this team. Because I hate seeing
You reckon AJ will replace Shane?
I hate seeing Shane McMahon's name in that team. It's like Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and The Miz. Solid 4 people, right? Oh, sorry, and then the other option other than AJ is Randy. I'm not a big Randy fan, but I'd rather Randy or AJ take Shane McMahon's spot.
I'd like to see Randy attack Shane.
Yeah.
Or attacking Ray. Actually, Randy attacks Ray before the match. Yeah. And then being like, I don't want to join your team. No, I don't want to join your team. And then they pick AJ Styles to take his place. Yeah.
But until Monday, so I'm making the prediction now. Until Monday comes and we see Shane McMahon get ruled out somehow, I'm not going to go with SmackDown because that team of Lashley, Strowman, Ziggler, McIntyre, and Finn is actually stronger than SmackDown, literally just because of Shane McMahon being in there. So
okay,
yeah, that's for me. And Braun Strowman equals about 5 people. So I see,
true.
I see Braun Strowman eliminating someone like Hardy, Ray, and Miz within 2 minutes.
Yep.
Samoa Joe being the sole survivor for so the final member to survive for SmackDown if they go that far. But yeah.
So, I was gonna say, so you say that, but I reckon Shane will be the golden boy because he's the best in the world. I'm sorry, I had to put that in there.
I hope Braun just takes him out straight away. Just pins him straight away. First man in. No, it has to be like, yeah. This card doesn't have Randy Orton or AJ Styles on it anymore.
No,
they need to be on there somewhere. It has to be in that.
It needs to be somewhere. Yeah, but I'm with you on this one. I'm picking Team Raw for the win because just look at that team.
Yeah.
Then we get the United States champion Shinsuke Nakamura versus the man who broke his heart, the Intercontinental champion Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Seth Rollins wins, but my heart's with Shinsuke. Seth Rollins will win this. No. I actually changed my opinion. Seth Rollins going to lose, but it will be because Dean cost him.
Yep, I was about to say Shinsuke gets the win due to interference.
Nakamura it is now. He's a US champ. Yeah,
Yep.
no, Shinsuke gets the win, breaks Seth Rollins' face. Probably not as bad as Becky's, but yeah.
We get the two surprising matches of this entire card, which no one saw coming.
Yep.
So the first one, we finally officially get the Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair.
Yep. Which, anyway, and
Don't know who to pick for this one.
does Ronda eat her first loss, but under controversy? Like, I kind of feel there's going to be a double turn here. Well, not double turn. I feel Charlotte Flair is going to turn heel in this because going into this, originally, obviously, it was Becky versus Ronnie. It was meant to be Becky versus Ronda. Becky was always going to be the super face in this match. Ronda was going to get eaten alive. However, Charlotte doesn't have the fan support. So maybe it turns back into Ronda being the face in this. Because Charlotte does get that heckled, the Roman hate. Yeah, I can see Charlotte probably turning heel in this and maybe starts the storyline of, like you said, with your fantasy booking of 4 horsewomen. Maybe Charlotte and Becky sort of work together in this new sort of badass tandem of Charlotte and Becky. Maybe Bayley and Sasha.
Yeah.
Maybe Bayley and Sasha. They're not doing anything on Survivor Series, so maybe they come into play somehow. So
I'm calling Charlotte Flair to win, giving Ronda Rousey her first loss after Becky Flair. After Becky Lynch interferes, causing a distraction.
Yep, absolutely. I still think for the actual 100% victory, I'm still going to go with Ronda. I don't think they're going to let Ronda lose to a week.
Yeah.
A Charlotte with only a week to go. But, who knows. But then you get the big one. Well, the Beast versus the Goat.
See, I like the term Beast versus Best.
Yeah, Beast versus Best, yeah. 2 different farmers from 2 different spots in America. One's a clean cut, not clean cut. Daniel Bryan's not clean cut. He's the hairiest man alive, but he's friend of the universe. He's a vegan. Loves his nature. Brock is an absolute shooter, and he's a hunter, and he opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of real life human beings, but
if this could plan out, like if Bryan won the championship a couple of weeks back, right, this could have played out so much better. The build for this would have been fantastic because you're right, it would have been Brock as the hunter, the meat-eating, trailblazing, suplex city raising beast versus the young gun, the hippie, the green-eating, suplex-eating machine.
Yeah.
And Daniel Bryan, like, this could have been a fantastic build.
Yep. I still think, even with 5 days to go, just having this on a card sells me. Like, it just sells me just in the match. Like you said, imagine what you could have got out of them in promos with Daniel Bryan versus Paul Heyman on mic. Just those 2 alone. But look, I pray to God that Daniel Bryan wins somehow, even if it needs to be cheating. I can't stand Brock Lesnar. I want him to lose every time he's on the screen. That means he's doing his job right. But I think, Daniel's probably going to come close to winning. AJ cost him, and Brock ends up beating him. I just hope that Daniel doesn't die in this match because the guy with concussion and neck injuries is going against the guy that does moves that literally is concussion and neck base. So,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, my call for this, actually, I'm going straight out of the ballpark here. I reckon we're going to see a turn in this match. and we see Brock Lesnar eating the pin after Paul Heyman causes a distraction and teams with Daniel Bryan.
Ooh.
I know it's so far out of the ballpark, but I would love to see that.
You know what? I would love to see Paul Heyman be manager of Daniel Bryan, and I would love to see a little stable for him. Here's my fantasy booking, right? So, two of Daniel Bryan's best friends in real life are both heels on SmackDown. They've both known each other, all three of them have known each other for nearly 15 years. They all came from around the same training school. I know Shinsuke and Daniel Bryan used to tag together. Would you be interested in a stable led by Paul Heyman on mic? They don't need him, but imagine him with Daniel Bryan, Nakamura, and Samoa Joe.
Oh, yes.
And Paul Heyman once managed a stable in WCW called the Dangerous Alliance, because he was Paulie Dangerously back then. That is a new Danger Alliance. Imagine that. Like, you got Shinsuke, probably the most lethal knee in the company. Daniel Bryan, one of the most clean technical guys, and Samoa Joe, the submission bloody nightmare, whatever he's called these days. Imagine those three as a stable.
Throw someone else in there. Throw
Becky.
Say, oh, Becky, yes.
Imagine Becky with those
actually
three
keep
boys.
Becky on her own. Keep Becky on her own. I reckon throw in the Miz and have the Miz and Joe win the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Shinsuke retains for a while for the United States, and they literally run Raw as the champion of champions.
Yeah? How about this as a little thing? How about throwing Carl and Luke Gallows in there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all
A
right.
new club.
Yeah.
A new club
I'd be interested in that.
against AJ.
Yeah. So I think overall we've got Team Blue over Team Red,
Yeah.
because everyone here bleeds blue, except for maybe Greg,
Yeah.
who's Team Yellow because he only cares about NXT now.
Look, I'm Team Yellow. I wish one day that they really went, hey, NXT deserves to be as part of the Survivor Series. Imagine like a triple threat between, okay, it might not be too good, but imagine Brock versus Daniel versus Ciampa.
Ciampa would get destroyed.
Would he?
Sorry to say, but he'd get demolished.
I reckon Ciampa could actually take on Brock actually with his psychoness. Then you could have Seth versus Shinsuke versus make it a fatal 4-way. Seth versus Shinsuke versus Ricochet versus Pete Dunne.
Oh, yes.
You could do Charlotte versus Ronda versus... Sorry, it would have been Becky. So Becky versus Ronda versus Shayna.
No, it would have had to been Kyrie at that point.
Yeah.
Would have had to have been Kyrie.
Then you get AOP versus The Bar versus Undisputed Era.
Yep.
Like, imagine the options that they could have had.
So many good
They
options.
could have done it. But I do love the idea of War Games and that. But look, this is going to be a really fun weekend. I love Survivor Series weekend. It's this is my second favorite weekend of the year. I know WrestleMania is the granddaddy, but Royal Rumble and Survivor Series for me are my two favorites because there are so many, different matchups that you get. Like WrestleMania is a solid card usually every year. Great weekend. SummerSlam's the same. But when you get things like Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, and sometimes Money in the Bank, you get these, interesting crossovers between SmackDown and Raw. You get these interesting matchups like Seth versus Shinsuke. This is a first-time match. These guys have never crossed paths on the Indies or in Japan or anything like that. This is a first-time matchup, and crazy. Get Charlotte versus Ronda in this because of the accident. But, you just get these awkward matchups that you didn't think about, and they're awesome. And then, like in Royal Rumble, you obviously get, 30 different combinations of different type of one-on-ones. Like when Kevin Owens has Sami Zayn running into the ring and they go ham on each other, and you get those moments. And I love that about Survivor Series, and now that War Games is part of the weekends, this NXT, there's just some solid action. I'm really excited for this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. And you can catch all of the action on the WWE Network for only, I think it's like $15 here in Australia, but $9.99 in America.
Yeah, $9.99. Or if you sign up for, you get a month free, don't you? You get your first month free if you sign up.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly right. You get your first month free, which includes Survivor Series and War Games.
Yeah.
But let's not plug the WWE Network. Let's plug our own. So I think that's it for what we've got today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, sure is.
So highlight of the week for you?
Yeah, highlight of the week for me, probably SmackDown. SmackDown as a whole. They just built Survivor Series that one night, just perfect. And yeah, the whole Becky and Nia thing. For me, like Greg said at the start, fans, don't be shit. As no matter how sloppy Nia is or how much I personally believe that she needs just a little bit of time in NXT, not on TV, but I think she needs a little bit of work done in the Performance Center with Sarah Amato or something just to get a couple of things tied up. But don't be idiots, guys. Like the Progress team says, pro wrestling is for everyone, whether it's entertainment or not. Don't be dicks. Don't wish death upon people because of wrestling. Seriously, it's not on. It's not right. Whether it's Brie, Nia, Seth, Rey Mysterio copped it back in the day when he was in a match against Perro Aguayo in Mexico. He part of a match where Perro died, and everyone started calling Rey a murderer and stuff. That's just the shittest stuff to come from wrestling fans. Don't be shit. Be better.
That's exactly right. As people would put it, this isn't ballet.
This isn't ballet at all.
And that is all we have time for today. Mikey, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Instagrams and on the Twitters at BigBoy_Mikey86.
And you can find myself at CJ's World on Facebook and at CJ's_World on Instagram. Together, collectively, we are known as the B+, or you can find us on Twitter as B+ Wrestle because wrestling wouldn't fit. But we are indeed the B+ Wrestling everywhere else. That is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. Feel free to leave us a 5-star review if you feel so inclined, and enjoy your night.
Bye.
Hold one. Arm drag.
You're not doing this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy.
Goodbye and good night.
Hold two. Arm bar.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it. Dummy.
Hold three. The moss covered.